So today I'm talking about what Alex called the CPA firm of the future. I call it something else. I call it the 8 things that most CPA firms are still doing that their A client should not let them get away with. Okay, so I've given it another name. My rule is what I call the first rule of holes, H-O-L-E-S, the first rule of holes. Does anybody know what the first rule of holes is? The first rule of holes is when you're in one, stop digging. Okay? And that's really what I'm talking about, change. I think there's 8 definite things going on in the CPA world, and whether you're participating in those 8 things or whether you're not, or ignoring them, will determine whether you're a firm of the future without regard to what your particular service offering is. You can still just be a crank-em-out tax return practice, for example, and not do any of this highfalutin stuff that we're talking about here at this great 3-day event. But if you aren't doing most of these 8 things, you're not going to be a firm of the future as a tax preparation practice. 8 things. I don't do an outline, so write these 8 things down. Actually, I'm going to give you 4 of them at once because they're all related. Paperlessness, people, workflow, and technology. Okay, paperlessness, people, workflow, and technology. I've got 5 fingers on my hand. I can count to 5. That's 4 things. I'll do the other 4 in the second half of this 30-minute presentation. How many people today actually overtly bill your clients for your technology costs? Anybody in the room? Anybody? 1 person. You're smart. 2 people. Good for you. That's usually what I get. Like less than 10% of the crowd will actually build into their pricing model the cost of their technology. Well, in the old days, we did it automatically because everything was an outside service. When we did financial statements, I'd walk 2 blocks up the hill. We were down in Bankers Hill, which is north of downtown, and I would turn it into, I forget the name, it was called, I think it was ACI or something, Accounting Corporation of, or ACA, Accounting Corporation of America. Same thing, we'd fill out these input sheets and turn them in, and a couple days later, they'd call, and I'd walk back up the hill because I was the youngest staff person there and pick this stuff up. And we passed that cost through as well. Well, now technology is more facile and easy to use than ever, but most CPAs don't pass that cost through to their clients. And then they do something even worse. They might still be billing by the hour, and what used to take you 5 hours to do now takes you 1 hour to do because technology is so great, and you're greatly undervaluing your services. So anyway, paperlessness, people, workflow, and technology, all of these things go together. 5th thing, okay? This is really important to me, hourly billing, okay? The profession is moving away from hourly billing because customers, really good customers, demand it. The people that I work with, the ultra wealthy, say, if you're going to do something for me, Richard, tell me in advance how much it costs because everything that I do in my business life is cost benefit. Okay, the value isn't the hour that you bill, the value is in the value that you bring to the hour that you bill. So if you're still stuck in hourly billing, this isn't going to work, trust me. You have to find other billing models. The 6th thing, one of my favorites, is seasonality, right? So between like April 1st and, February 1st and April 15th, no CPA is available to do anything. Well, with the clients I represent, first of all, the whole 9 to 5 workday model is broken because 5 days a week at 8 hours, that's only 40 hours a week, and the ultra wealthy and the A clients and the successful business owners have problems 168 hours a week, not just 40 hours a week. You've got to go back to the process and the workflow and outsourcing to try to figure out how to handle the 70 or 75% of the stuff that just has to get done. Number 7 is marketing. What you're trying to create here is market differentiation, okay? What makes your CPA firm different than everybody else's CPA firm? Now, one way to differentiate yourself, obviously, is to be able to articulate the incredible value that you have in the network behind you. How do you attract these A clients to you instead of always putting out a message to them? How do you get them interested in you? The last thing, often forgotten by CPA firms in my last 2 minutes, it's a little thing called succession planning. If you're going to build a firm of the future, you're building something that should extend beyond just your existence or your life, much like the foundation that I've built here in the Oceanside community. Some of you know, for example, that, well, put it this way, if you think you have a lot of people coming over for Thanksgiving, I've got 15,000 people coming over Thanksgiving morning, okay, with the work that my charity does in Oceanside. That thing's going to extend beyond my life, okay? I'm not even needed anymore to run that thing now that I have a core team of 400 volunteers who bought into the vision that we have for that community. So succession planning. Now most firms of 3 to 10 partners have almost no succession plan in place. Their plan is we'll hire some young people who are smart and hope to God they're as stupid as we were and want to be CPA partners someday and buy us out. Number 8, succession planning, the most overlooked thing that CPA firms are missing. That's it for today. Do your homework tonight, watch my YouTube video, and if you'd like me, come back tomorrow. Thanks.
Richard, before you disappear, Richard,